How we doing, everyone? It's Wednesday, so it's time for the Ravery Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. So if you're watching us now, we appreciate you here. You are, I always call this, y'all, nerd season. Okay, so if you're doing this tonight, there's no football, there's no Ravens football, there's no Orioles baseball here. So if this is what you're doing tonight, definitely congratulations. You are one of our sports nerds that really like this stuff all year round. So we want to thank you, all of you, for joining us here live on the Ravery Sports Podcast. All right, couple housekeeping things here we want to go ahead and take care of. RaverySports.company.site. So definitely check that out. If you haven't yet, definitely check it out. Check out RaverySports blog.com. So definitely too, if you want to go ahead and check out, we're blogging every morning. Yesterday's blog is about was about the firing, well, not the firing, the resignation of Mike Tomlin, the Ravens end of year press conference. We're going to talk about that a little bit here tonight as well. Also, to Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. I just finished notary work just before I came on the stream tonight. So I just want to thank all of you in the Winchester area. Thank you, Signing Agency, yes, for sending me my check. We appreciate you there as well. So I want to thank you, anybody in the Winchester, VA area. You know, definitely to all you Hanley grads, all you Shenandoah grads, all you, even you James Wood, Millbrook, and all you grads. Definitely check us out here. Genesis Notary Services. We will come out to any of those areas and go ahead and get that squared away for you. See, Charles Harris, we are LegalShield.com. So definitely check it out. Best way I can tell you with the Legal Shield is to get a hold of us. Go to put in Harris Legal Shield, Winchester, Virginia. It'll pop up immediately on Facebook. So definitely check that out. Check us out on there as well. We'll be happy to go ahead the national championship game. We're going to go live for the national championship game on Driving to the Top Productions and Ravery Sports Podcast. We're going to be talking about that a little bit tonight as well. Indiana looks serious. Like Indiana doesn't look like they're playing around. I mean, these games aren't even competitive. So, but we'll get to that as we go along here as well. So we'll definitely go check that out here as well. So let's go ahead and get it going here as well. So we're going to absolutely talk about. The Ravens end of year press conference as well. So now that the Ravens season is over, traditionally, Coach John Harbaugh and in more recent years, Eric DeCosta, used to be Ozzie Newsome, go have the Ravens end of year presser as well. So we go ahead and we go over that. But this year, obviously, it's a little different. There's no Coach John Harbaugh anymore. Now, looking out here, looking for a head coaching job. John Harbaugh is interviewed in Atlanta. John Harbaugh is interviewed in several different places as well. So John Harbaugh is no longer the coach of the Ravens. So obviously, he's not at the press conference here as well. So John Harbaugh no longer the head coach. So Steve Bisciotti, it's been quite a while since we have seen Steve Bisciotti at the press conference for the Ravens. Years ago, when the Ravens first had a football team, that the end of year press conference kind of always started with the owner, Art Modell. Used to always do the presser with Ozzie Newsome, Ted Marchibroda, and then Brian Billick after that, and just kind of do the end of the year thing as well. In recent years, Bisciotti took the place. Well, before that, the Bisciotti took the place of Art Modell as principal owner. So those three started doing end of year pressers as well. In more recent years, Bisciotti hasn't been doing it. It's just been John Harbaugh and Eric DeCosta pretty much as well. maybe you see Sashi Brown in more recent years as well. Used to have Dick Cass, used to be president. So you had those, but obviously with Harbaugh gone, now you got now have Steve Bisciotti back explaining the firing of John Harbaugh. Fascinating stuff. Obviously because there's obviously a change coming. So end of year press conference. I thought overall Steve Bisciotti was very candid, surprisingly so. Most of these guys, business guys like Steve Bisciotti, very measured in the way they speak sometimes. For the most part, during this was really not that. Very comfortable, saying how he felt. Really, I thought was pretty candid in how he felt about everything. The only real question I thought during this whole thing that I would say that he kind of dodged is when he was asked about Justin Tucker. He kind of ducked that one. He really didn't want to talk about that. What was your feelings on what happened with Justin Tucker last year? Da da da. He said, "Well, I really just deferred to Eric DaCosta and Ozzie and those guys." That was really the only one, but talked about several things. Eric Bisciotti wasn't happy. He said a couple things that got John Harbaugh fired. The downward trajectory of the team, which is absolutely right. So a couple years ago, you're in the AFC Championship game. Last year, you're in the division round. This year, you missed the playoffs. Team not going in the right direction. He said that factored in. And you always do what he did, at least he said, what you do when you have a decision like this. He has a lot of respect for John Harbaugh, et cetera, but sleep on it. All right. Sunday, he kind of felt like that was it. After the game, after the result, waited Monday, kind of slept on it, see, well, if I kind of feel the same way about it as well. Tuesday, John Harbaugh got fired. This is the Tuesday after the season. John Harbaugh gets fired as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens Tuesday evening. He got fired over the phone. Now, a lot of us would say and did say, hey, John Harbaugh deserved better because he was a coach for so long, coach for many, many years. Where was the face-to-face firing? The short answer is what he would describe was basically by the time he got there, John Harbaugh had already left. So, right. So he didn't want to just call him back just to let him go and fire him. So he might as well just say whatever you got to say over the phone. He's like, I didn't want to go ahead and do that. I do think in part it was difficult to do it face to face as much as he didn't say that. I think that had to be a factor in because I'm sure with all the success the Ravens have had, John Harbaugh's had, he's got a lot of respect for him. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. So he really, yeah, but so he did explain that, which is surprising. He didn't like just go past that. He did go ahead and explain why it went down, why it absolutely went down like that. So why Harbaugh got fired. He was very, very, Eric DaCosta looked very uncomfortable, I thought, during the whole thing. EDC, obviously, it's easier to be comfortable with John Harbaugh is kind of in the same boat. But with Steve Bisciotti there, he looked a little more uncomfortable. I thought Eric, who is not quite a Mike Elias level, like in terms of ducking and dodging, not quite that, but not as forthcoming as obviously Bisciotti was as well. I did say about EDC, he did talk about free agency more than I've ever seen him. That's good. I think that's definitely a hole that Eric DaCosta has with the free agency as well. He didn't really say much about because in recent years they haven't done anything with free agency. They haven't really done anything as well. Free agency. So it's good to see Eric at least talk about, hey, maybe we need to change this. Maybe we need to go ahead and look this. A lot of people talking about Lamar Jackson. I think the Lamar has no control narrative is a bit much for what Steve Bisciotti said at the presser. Steve Bisciotti basically, when he was asked a question from one of the reporters, he said, "Well, is Lamar the central figure in the organization?" He corrected him several times and said, "No, Lamar's the quarterback. Lamar's the quarterback." So I think that's negotiation in my opinion. I think there's a little bit much more made of that than what it was. Lamar will have input. Lamar was talked to before the firing of John Harbaugh. He did talk to him beforehand. He did talk to a couple of other vets. He didn't name. Obviously, he was asked about Lamar, of course. And I think that was standard procedure. He was honest about that. I think Brian Bilkey kind of gave a different answer back then. Well, I didn't. No, he was honest. He said he kind of talked to some of the vets about it and see where they were with it and kind of understand that. So I think that's a good thing to do. He talked to his players, talked to his organization, talk to. It's his decision, but you want to go ahead and speak to others. No big. I thought that was decent enough as well. Couple more things in the presser. He himself, as owner, Bisciotti, 10 more years as owner. He did say he does not want to leave the organization to his family. So his family is not going to be succeeding him. He's going to go ahead and sell in 10 years. So then maybe give that actually about 5 years, if it is 10 more years or whatever, to go ahead and do that as well with that. Coaching search, big thing that I did notice, and a lot of us noticed, he was very candid with the coaching search as far as uh, getting uh, a coach who had previous been a head coach. So the Robert Salas, the Kevin Stefanski, uh, the Mike McDaniels who had an interview, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know how much I believe that. That could have been just smoke. Why net again? He is an oppressor. One thing you do is sometimes you are in the middle of a negotiation, so it is possible that I kind of didn't buy that part like as well. I do think he's looking at. I'm kind of thinking he kind of knows what he wants. You don't make a decision. You don't get rid of a John Harbaugh after 10 years and then knows what he wants as well. He said he did speak to John Harbaugh several days later. They did have a long conversation for about an hour. He said on Thursday as well. John and him spoke. I think that's all good. I don't think John's going to say anything bad about the Ravens and everything like that. He had very good things to say about the Harbaugh family as well and looking for a head coach. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's looking for here. Pretty sure he knows what he's looking for here as well. So I think that's the first order of business. Go ahead, find a coach, and then work on the Lamar extension and get through the draft as well. Interesting to hear from Bisciotti. I think it was to me, and it is. Check it out on the Raven Sports Facebook page, Twitter page. It's on its entirety. It is refreshing to hear the candor that we usually don't hear from the owner, etc. So I thought that was fascinating as well. So, and you can read about it on our blog sites here at Raven Sports, blogspot.com. You can definitely check that out as well. All right, talking about the pressers. Right before I came on, my daughter said these people have big noses. This AI picture here, they had big noses. I don't know. As well, maybe they do as well. The awards. So let's go ahead and as we recap 2025, the Ravens press conference next week, we're going to talk about Ravens free agency. Who's free agency? A lot of people got some of these eyes on the free agency. Some of the Ravens players will go over that as well. Who on the Ravens is free agents? Then we'll get free agent targets and all the other fun stuff. But last year, year and after the season's over, what Ravens won awards as well? So this is not an official awards. This is just our awards, Raven Sports Podcast Awards, on what we think who was the best as far as the Baltimore Ravens go in 2025. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That was at the end. All right, best special teams Raven as well. So, who was the best Raven on special teams? This was pretty easy to go ahead and do. I think it's more than obvious. Tyler Luke might have been on this list had it obviously not been for the end. So, I think that was not too bad. I think Tyler Luke, for the most part, I think he's kept heat, obviously, because of the missed field goal. But Tyler Luke bad, I don't think. You got to say TJ Tampa and Jake Hummel. I have them 3-2 on here. TJ Tampa is a pretty good special teams player. One that led the team in special team tackles, second on team test tackles, right there. Jake Hummel. Jake Hummel probably was everything they expected when they brought him in. Solid special teams leader, wedge buster, coverage guy. That's exactly what you got with Jake Hummel as well. And the best, though, was Jordan Stout. Jordan Stout, I think, was the best punter in the NFL this year. He really helped the Ravens out a lot. Had a rookie kicker this year. His punts, offense not quite as good, was booming punts all the way down the field. Glad to see that he got a national acknowledgement and everything like that. All pro, best punter, and I think in the entire NFL, Jordan Stout for the Ravens. Most improved Ravens. So who got better this year? Rasheen Ali deserves some. He made the roster. John Harbaugh was very intent on keeping him on the roster and carrying 4 running backs. So that's good. He's not bad. I think on a different team, different scenario, he'd be playing more. I think he's a good. He's kind of what coaches like, in my opinion, a good combo guy. He's not maybe great in any one area, but he's good in several areas. So coaches like a guy like that to come off the bench. You can put him in and plug him in, etc. Trenton Simpson, look, talk to moving Roquan is because Trenton Simpson looked really good. Like Trenton Simpson really improved. Didn't win the job out of camp, lost the starting job, went back to the bench and during the season got a lot better. Had 9 tackles in the last game against the Squealers. Played well, I thought, during the course of the end of the season. Trent Simpson really developed. Trent Simpson, I think, is one of the really has a bright future as well with the Ravens or some other team after next year, maybe a free agent as well. But number one was Nate Wiggins. I think maybe it was more noticeable with the regression of Marlon Humphrey a little bit, but Nate Wiggins, I thought, was their best chest-to-chest corner as well. Put him on an island, put him on your best corner, man-to-man. He always had the athleticism. He looked more fundamentally sound, more in place. The only negative I have with him, he's a bit reckless at times. He needs to watch his body a little bit. Like, stop diving for stuff that stop. Other than that, that's really good. Nate Wiggins is really, really, really good this year. I thought most improved Ravens, best assistant coach. I gotta say Tyler Santucci, because the inside linebackers were really good. I thought that was really one of the best units. Roquan Smith really got off to a slow start, but that was it. Trent Simpson and Tyler Buchanan really played well. I thought down the stretch, I thought they were really good as well. So I thought it was a good coaching job by those guys. Really impressed to how much better Trent Simpson got during the course of the season. So I was impressed with that. Greg Lewis, former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver, now wide receiver coach for the Ravens. Zay Flowers getting better was also very impressive. Zay Flowers, I was really saw it during the course of the year, not just running that 9 route, having a feel for it, looking like a real vet, kind of reading the coverages from the wide receiver position, going to the spot, knowing what the defenses are, really contributed to his success. Obviously, he's got that great speed, but good job by Greg Lewis getting it squared away as well. But number one, Chuck Pagano, it's beyond me why you didn't consider giving him a big role as well. I thought the DBs were the best group on the team. He's an experienced head coach with success, experienced defensive coordinator with success. Not show Chuck 65, but I'm giving it to Chuck Pagano. best assistant coach for the Ravens as well. Best Ravens rookie. All right, best Ravens rookie. Easy enough to say the two top picks, Malachi Starks and Mike Green. Mike Green, I thought, still needs to develop a bit. Got better, still needs to develop a bit. So he's got to get a little stronger as well. When he can bend the edge really and get around guys, but he wasn't getting home. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Owe. You know, you get the sack, yeah, but you got to take the guy down and get there. And that's kind of the thing. Malachi Starks, I thought, got better during the course of the year. I thought he was a little bit in over his head early as well. But I thought he got better during the course of the year. I'm not feeling bad at all about Malachi Starks. I think he's kind of getting a bit of a bad rap with some of the year he had. But Malachi Starks, no problem with this next to Kyle Hamilton going forward, having him. But Teddy Buchanan, I thought was fantastic. It's too bad he had the injury during the course of the year, but this guy is really going to be a force for him. Interesting to see, again, mentioned Roquan. Him and Teddy might work. I mean, these guys are really good. I thought as well, Buchanan, I thought this was the best rookie, even though it was shortened a little bit with the injury. I like Teddy Buchanan as well. Might have had Tyler Loop all the way up to the last day. So there's that. Best free agent trade. Yeah, I got DeAndre Hopkins. I think that was about what I expected from DeAndre. I didn't expect. I think some people, you see the name and you expect this all-world great receiver. They use him, I thought, exactly the way they were going to use him. I think right down in the red zone, in spots, keep his legs fresh. I had no problem with that. I thought him and Bateman, I thought their issues, I didn't think it was just because of their productivity on the field in terms of, well, the lack therefore of, if you want to put it, was because of things they did. I thought a lot of it was just because of the scheme and all that, etc. John Jenkins, honestly, I didn't love him as much as some people did as well. I think this type of player, I think if you can behind a Travis Jones is about right. I think he played more than he probably should have. Gives you nothing in pass rush. I think it was part of the problem. He's an outstanding run stopper. Outstanding run stopper. Definitely huge size. Definitely Ravens signed him to a 1-year extension. Absolutely no problem with that. But it's like a second pass rusher kind of come in as well. Or if you have edge rushers and him, but he's great. But John Jenkins, I got no problem with that. Played more than he probably should have, and actually played decent as well. Did exactly what he was there to do. Chibi Owusi, I think, was the best corner. You could say he was the best corner on the team. You could really do. Look, he wasn't even supposed to play a whole lot. Jair Alexander was there. Marlon Humphrey was there. And maybe he sees the field as a fourth corner. And I think he was fantastic as well during the course of the year. I thought Awuzie, him and Nate Wiggins on the outside, they looked really good covering receivers as well. I got no problem saying the best free agent addition was Awuzie. A little disappointing, that group overall. Not those guys in particular, but overall, didn't get a whole lot there. Best defensive play. Roquan kind of got off too slow a start for me to put him higher than that. The defense wasn't nearly as good this year. I mean, obviously, they're all gone now. Zach Orr and the coaching and all that other stuff. I would put Roquan there. Roquan, I thought, was good. The question is he $20 million good? Like, when you're making that kind of money, you want somebody to be great. Like, so he's taking up a lot of the cap. I thought Roquan was solid. I don't think it was, some of the stuff I heard was just a little bit ridiculous like this. He's not Ray Lewis. I don't think it's a fair thing to say. But I thought he was decent enough as well. I have him number 3. I thought Travis Jones was 2. Travis Jones has been really good. I think people are just realizing it and waking up. Definitely without Matabuke there with the injury, with the career and possibly career ending injury. I think that was the thing. I was hoping that was the one question during the presser where there was somebody was asked about Matabuke. But I don't think we got any information there on that. But Travis Jones, I thought was good, getting doubled a lot. I thought he was playing a little bit out of position as well. I love to have him at the nose. I love to have him at the nose, his natural position. You're going to get more pass rush from him than you would John Jenkins as well. But Travis Jones has been really good. But Kyle Hamilton is the best safety, I think, in the NFL. Some not as many big plays as you would hope a little bit, but that's about it. Missed some games, little nicked up play tough. He really showed a lot of leadership too. So I was really impressed with Kyle Hamilton and his leadership and all that, et cetera. So I really liked what we saw from Kyle Hamilton. Most valuable Raven. The media selected Kyle Hamilton. I have him at third. As good as he was on defense, I thought he was definitely your best defensive player. That's further than I would go. That's further than I would go as well. I thought he really ratcheted it up when they actually moved him really away from the true safety, the inside linebacker. But that's further than I go, making him most valuable Raven. Derrick Henry, I thought outside of the slow start was terrific. He almost walked away with the rushing title as it was. The big problem is they didn't run the ball enough. Even with that, didn't run the ball enough. But Zay Flowers, I thought, was the straw in the drink. Fantastic stuff. Grew as a receiver, really sucked up all the oxygen. Had 1,200 yards, just about. Lamar only had about 2,900 yards. The yards were down. He had like 1,200 of that. So he was fantastic with all the quarterbacks, Tyler Huntley included. Definitely, no question about it to me. Most valuable Raven was Zay Flowers. There you go. All right.